Guys, I am sweating. It is humid outside. It is the middle of summer in Florida, but for some reason I decided to make a video on my car. This is my 2011 Mustang GT that I bought for $10,900. So this is the first year that the Coyote was put into a Mustang. This car specifically is in pretty decent shape for how old it is and how many miles are on it. It does have a few problems that I'm going to get into. This car does have the Brembo brake package, which includes the Brembo brakes along with these 19-inch wheels to fit them, and also has Pirelli P0 tires all the way around. This car also has the premium package on it, which includes the black leather seats as well as the powered seats for the driver and the passenger. Also has the shaker sound system, which includes 2 subs in the trunk. I was really impressed with how well they kept the interior. It's how old the car is and how many miles it has on it. It's still in really good condition. And that was one of the reasons. I know it's very dirty, don't pay attention to that. But that was one of the reasons that I actually ended up pulling the trigger on this car specifically, was because of the condition of the interior and just the car in general. It was definitely well maintained and kept decent. So the next point I want to talk about is all the negatives with the car. So starting out with the mileage, this car has a decent amount of miles on it. So we're sitting at right above 127 right now. So it does have a good amount of miles on it. The Carfax is actually very good, and the 2 previous owners of this car were both 60-year-old women whose husbands actually worked at the Ford dealership. So this car was maintained on schedule and at Ford dealerships with Ford employees. So it was kind of taken care of really well, actually. So that was another one of the main reasons why I wanted to go ahead and pick this one up specifically. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, having to do with things that need to be fixed on this car, has to do with the paint damage. So the car is very dirty right now, please excuse that, but once you take a little closer look to some of these spots on the car, you can see the paint has a bunch of chips, and there's a few dents around the car as well. Up front, you can see the front bumper is starting to have some paint fade. I don't know if you can see that all across the front bumper there, as well as you got some scratches around the car as well. Nothing too crazy, but definitely still there, and definitely goes down as a negative on this car. The paint definitely needs some work. On top of that, Ford put these plastic trim pieces around the car, all on the side, as well as this big piece on the back. And over the years, that has just faded and kind of been discolored by the exhaust right there. And all that trim, even the door trim as well, is all kind of faded. So one of the only mechanical issues with this car is the fact that you will get a clunking noise whenever you are turning or going over a bump, which I originally thought was ball joints on this car. But once I got it up in the air and did an inspection on it, I noticed that the lower control arms in the front, their bushings are just completely shot. The wheels on this car are in absolute terrible condition. They're curb rashed, and the paint and the clear coat are just falling off, and it's leaving it like this speckled black and silver. So also Main thing that I need to fix is these headlights. With the bumper, they're kind of fading and oxidizing, so I plan on taking those out and re-clearing them. Fog lights are getting a little bit hazy as well. The taillights are in very good condition, but the third taillight, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is terribly oxidized. So this antenna is actually really bad. It's all cracked and dry rotted. So this is gonna be a very simple replacement, but definitely gonna do that pretty soon. I'll probably just do a delete. So moving on to the inside of the car, point out some of the flaws that I have with the interior of this thing. Get the AC going because it is the middle of summer in Florida. Okay, so the first thing on the interior, technically interior, is going to be the tent on this rear window is peeling off. You can't really see it too well from the inside, but on the outside you can tell the tent just completely peeled off. And I do have a tent job around the car that came with it, but that peeled off. And also the driver's side is starting to peel off right there, and it makes a little flaking noise every time the window goes down. Also, the steering wheel buttons are kind of peeling off. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but they've rubbed off, as well as at night you can really tell because the light shines through, and it shines through all the cracks that the black is peeled up from. One other thing that I noticed is the fact that there are multiple chips on this window. There's just two right in the line of view. So another part of the interior that's kind of messed up is this little piece right here for the mirror controls. This panel does not actually stay there. There's like a clip that's broken in here, so it kind of just flops around. I think one of the clips is connected, but I have to go in there and fix that. So the other thing that needs some work, this shift knob is actually just like cracked right here. I don't know if they use like some type of silicone or something to try to put it back together, but it looks awful and it definitely doesn't feel too good, as well as the shift boot. The driver's seat does have obviously some wear to it. There's some cracks. It's in pretty good condition, but there is a little bit of damage, especially if you come under here. There's like a little bit of like a material pulling up right there. It's not actually a rip, it's just kind of material rubbed off there, but I don't know if I can do too much with that. I'm just gonna try to minimize the amount of damage I'm doing to this seat, just try to get in the car properly. Also, there is this one weird thing that I'm not sure if other people have this issue, but there's like a piece of plastic in here that's poking out past the seat, and you can see it really well on camera, but it's kind of annoying to just have that poking out. So I think whenever I have some free time or just time to kill, I'm gonna open up this seat and see if I can pin that down, because it's not supposed to be sticking out like that, I'm pretty sure, at least. So I think that covers pretty much everything wrong with the car. So I would say overall, I got a really good deal on this car. There's a few little issues, but I have no problem fixing those things. But for the price, I really can't complain. So far, I've been loving this car, and way better than any of my other cars I had. I just came from daily driving a 1997 Mustang GT, and it was really ratted out and slammed to the ground. And this thing is just leagues ahead of it. And like I said, super happy with the price I paid for it and just the car overall. So yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to cover for this car. This is my first YouTube video on the channel, but I do plan on doing a bunch more videos, including any fixes that I do or just any progress I make on this car whatsoever. I really enjoy documenting everything and putting it all up on YouTube, and maybe helping some people out in the process whenever I fix a few things or find a cheaper way to do something. But yeah, I think this YouTube channel is going to be a lot of fun. If you guys want to stay up with the progress with this thing and watch the build as it goes, definitely keep an eye on my channel. So I plan on posting quite a bit with this car. I think a good way to end this first video would be to show you what this car sounds like before I start messing with the exhaust at all. I actually personally think it sounds really good, but most of my friends are telling me that it's not loud enough, but I'll let you guys decide what you guys think.